All right, so here's what's in my fridge, guys. Again, we're gonna have a little bit of condiments occasionally. Again, if we do add the condiments, we're looking for very minimal with sugar and things like that. Currently, right now, I haven't been having any foods where I need to add anything for condiments. But milk and stuff like that, still drink like 2%. For those of you, if you're drinking coffee, I drink coffee in the morning. Sometimes I do some cold brews or just, some hot brews and things like that. But half and half has less sugar than something like, your almond natural creamers. But definitely look for creamers if you're doing that have natural cane sugar in it versus, other random additives. This is like our berry aisle and stuff like that on here. So you can see we always have kind of our veggies out and about or our fruits so that we can just kind of pick and grab. We probably go through, I can't even imagine right now. Like usually it's like almost a box of berries a day between blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, things like that. Here's the rice that we were talking about that we always have in here for things that we eat. We always have some veggies made, so we've always got, some frozen veggies or fresh veggies, but typically right now, we're on broccoli. Eggs are a big staple point that's healthy to have in your house. Again, for breads, it's very minimal. Like the breads that are back here, this is pretty much for from winter still. Because bread can keep really well in your fridge, but this is here for occasional, I'm doing French toast for Ella and things like that. But here's the healthy bread. Some of you guys have said well, what can I eat for a healthy bread alternative? It's called Dave's Killer Bread. We buy them either with the buns or we buy them, again, bagels, or we buy them bread right here. But the great thing is it's got low amount of carbs. So 2 slices is 23 grams of carbs. And since we want to sometimes think about keeping that carb amount low, when we're eating maybe, more than 1 sandwich a day, that's a great alternative to buy. So Dave's bread. I've got my egg whites up there. Those are my egg bakes that are up there. Again, like I talked about, beans or rice are typically our starch that we go to if it's not going to be all the veggies and the fruit. We do some chicken and some beef up there, typically, chicken breast. It's going to be sometimes chicken rib meat, but then when we're looking at, beef, we've talked about this, we're looking for something that's typically 90% or higher when it goes to, the fat content. Yogurt is a big one. It's got high protein in it, either that or cottage cheese. This is, again, where you could add some of that, a little bit of granola or some fresh fruit. Again, you're going to want to go plain because we're looking for the protein content to be high there, but zero or low in the sugars that are added. So you can see total sugars are the natural milk sugars that are there. There's no added sugars. If you start getting into flavors of vanilla and things like that, this jumps up to 21 very quickly. And remember, the goal is that, we want to reduce the amount of sugar. Sugar leads to fat, and fat, obviously leads to the gaining of the weight that you guys are talking about that you want to try to reduce on there. Again, just more random condiments on things like that. I eat a lot of hot sauces on things or natural salsas and stuff, just because that's kind of what allows for us to, again, reduce the amount of sugar on some of that. You can see I'm human. I have stashes of ice cream. I don't eat them very often. They're in there for special birthdays or things like that. But we've got some frozen meat and stuff like that down there. We've got some frozen veggies, things to switch it up. We do butternut squash if we're not doing green veggies, things like that. So that was a tour of what's in my pantry and what's in my fridge. Take a look at yours. Start to look at labels. Start to be a little bit more conscientious of what you guys are eating and snacking throughout the day. Cool.